Hi everyone, it's Corey in Ottawa, sharing Read and Write for Google Chrome using Screencastify. Read and Write for Google Chrome is such a great tool. I use it all of the time with my students, and now that SIA and classroom devices are often Chromebooks, it's a tool that all students should have access to. I feel it's important that I disclose to you at this time that I am a certified Level 2 Google educator, and I am working on becoming a certified Google trainer. I'm very comfortable with all things Google, and ultimately my goal is to become an itinerant teacher for assistive technology for my school board. However, I am still learning how to use many of the quality extensions for Google, such as Screencastify. Read and Write for Google Chrome is also an extension that can be added to any Google account by downloading the extension from the Google Chrome Web Store. The goal of the extension, in the creator's words, is to boost reading and writing confidence across all types of content and devices, in class, at work, and at home. It's a great assistive technology tool for all students, not just students on an IEP. A lot of educators refer to the extension as Google's Read and Write, but it's important to know that it's actually a third-party extension that is added to Google Chrome and is actually called Read and Write for Google Chrome. When using any third-party extension, you have to be aware that you're giving the third party permission to access your device and to make changes to your work. In this case, the third party, called TextHelp, is given permission to read and change all your data on the websites you visit, communicate with cooperating websites, read and modify data you copy and paste, know your email address, and manage your apps, extensions, and themes. Always keep this in mind when adding extensions to Chrome, and also make sure that the extensions you are choosing follow the acceptable use of technology policy for your board. In this case, Read and Write for Google Chrome is acceptable for most school boards. So I'm a big user of assistive technology in my classroom, and I train all of my grade 3 students to use Read and Write for Google Chrome early in the school year. There are great features that many of you have explored in your posts, such as the word prediction tool, the dictionary, the picture dictionary, listening to text. There's other ones as well, such as the screen mask, talk and type, the highlighting tools that I have used to highlight key ideas in this presentation, and voice note. I'm going to highlight the two most underused features that were added by Google Read and Write for Chrome, and that's Screen Mask, which is this one right here, and Voice Note, which is right here. These are important tools that will help most students to access and respond to text in a meaningful way. So let's talk first about Screen Mask. This is the Screen Mask icon. And the purpose of Screen Mask is that it darkens the screen and leaves a window that allows the user to scroll down through text to focus on a specific area. This is great for students who have attention issues. So click on it. And you're probably wondering right now, where is it? Well, you may or may not have this happen to you the first time you use it. So I'm going to show you today how to make sure it's working for all students, and you can also equip them with the tool to make sure they know how it works. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to the settings icon, and I call that the gear. And when you click on it, you'll see that here are the bits of detail that'll help you make screen masking the best it can be as a tool. So I'm going to ask you to go to the reading, light, and opacity section. And you need to also pay attention that the reading light color is gray. So if I click on it here, I am lightening it, and you'll see that I now have the reading light. It doesn't have to be gray. If I click on here, I can make it yellow. I can make it orange. But I can also, if I type in a series of 6 Fs, F, 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 and enter. I can also make it white. So here is the reading light height. And you can see I can make it much more narrow, or I can make it very wide. Again, just making it match the needs of your particular student. And then I can also make the background dark. And that way I am eliminating all distraction outside of that window. I do have to scroll down to the bottom. And if you notice, there is the reading light. If I click off of it, it is removed. If I click back onto it, it appears. So I have to click on OK. Really important aspect to this tool, as well as identifying specific areas of the screen to keep attention. And that is that student can use screen masking and still type. Students can focus on the task at hand and edit and input information at the same time. And I just do that by clicking and writing. And you can see my typing leaves a lot to be desired. So just to turn it off, all I have to do is click on the icon and I'm back to the screen as I want it. I'm going to turn my attention to VoiceNote, which is this icon right here. It was originally created for teachers to give feedback to students without teachers actually having to take the time to write. And it saves so much time, which is a valuable commodity in the classroom. However, this is also a great tool for students. It has become such a great tool that students are now able to access a lot of the curriculum areas that they were having difficulty before. They can share their understanding when they're not able to do so with pencil and paper, and the speech-to-text tool doesn't work for them because of maybe articulation issues, or it's just too finicky or takes too much time. This is especially good for French language learners and ELLs. Here's how it works. I've got a question here. Will you use screen mask feature? Why or why not? It's just going to select the part of the text that they wish to respond to. And they're going to go up to VoiceNote and click on it. Here you'll see a recording bar has come up with a recording option and the time, the maximum amount of time, which is 1 minute, that can be recorded. So here we go. I'll use the screen mask feature because it will be a useful tool for my students to stay focused on the task at hand. I clicked off on the recording, and now I have a new button, which is the play, and I can click on it and hear my I'll use the screen mask feature because it will be a useful tool for my students to stay focused on the task at hand. If I'm happy, I'm going to click on the insert button, and it will insert it, attaching it to this question. It'll take a moment. What's really important is there's no need for a headset. I'm recording this whole presentation without a headset using my Chromebook. How great is that? Students can scroll over, and if you look over here where it's attached, it looks like a hyperlink until you scroll on top. If I click on it, I'll use the screen mask feature because it will be a useful tool for my students to stay focused. I can play back the message or answer that was recorded. What's so important about this tool is that it takes the place of scribing and gives independence back to the student. It allows them more opportunities to work at grade level. And the great part for the teacher is that it can be assessed when the teacher has a chance, whenever the teacher has time, wherever they are. That's the great part about Google. It's accessible everywhere. So you can find a great support for Read and Write for Google Chrome that has suggestions and frequently asked questions that was created by the actual maker of this tool, TextHelp. I'll put this link in my post. I hope you find these Read and Write for Google Chrome tools as useful as I have, and that you'll train your students to use them in the classroom. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Have a great day, everyone, and enjoy playing with Read and Write for Google Chrome.